Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, hi, my name is Dana. I upload a new video at least once a week, so if you haven't already, now is a great time to subscribe so you can stay on top of all of those new videos. Today I'm gonna try a tea that came in my Sips by box for December, and I'm really excited. It's August Uncommon Tea's Dark Iris. And it's a rich oolong with peach, pistachio, and lime. So that's like right up my alley. I love oolong, I love nutty teas, so that pistachio. Let's go ahead and get it steeping before we do anything else, because I am really eager to try this. Ooh, it smells strong. So I got my metal basket infuser. I sell these on Amazon again, but if you want a nice, sturdy, reliable way to make cup after cup after cup of tea, I got you. All right, so let's just scoop our tea right into that infuser. Ooh, I see a pistachio. And then we'll pour in our hot water. And then we can set this to the side, let it steep about 5 minutes while we check out everything there is to learn about this tea, and then we will give it a try. So I definitely smell the peach and lime. And okay, so let's read the description before I'm going to, I'm like looking at the tea already and getting ready to make comments. But first let's read it. So Dark Iris. Tastes like peach, creme fraiche, iris, and lime blossom. And it's really cool, like they have feels like, so like taste like and then feels like. And it says Georgia O'Keeffe flowers. I gotta admit, I don't know who Georgia O'Keeffe is. I've heard of her. I don't know if she's a historical figure. I think she is, but that's what this tea apparently like feels like. So if you know like what that refers to, please enlighten me in the comments. And the ingredients are Formosa oolong tea, dried peach, Persian pistachio, white chocolate, rose petals, and flavoring. And it contains nuts and dairy. I like that it said Formosa oolong because I like when it gives us like some idea of, because you know, within like the oolong category, there is so much, like there are so many different oolongs, like oolong is so diverse, even like green teas. Like I like to know what kind, because there's so many different kinds, there's so many different places they're grown. So this is Formosa oolong, and I can tell right away by looking at it, it's not like the kind that's in a ball and like opens up. It looks more like a black tea, but let's get an even closer look. I wanna dump it out on a plate and get a real good look at the loose tea. Oh, but it smells so good. It's got such a powerful lime smell and the peach too. And I normally am not in love with fruity teas, but if I am gonna go for a fruity tea, it's gonna be like a citrus or a peach, especially with oolong. Peach is so good with oolong. I don't have a pistachio here, but I have one in my cup, so let's see if I can get one. I don't see any more pistachios, but I did see one when I was like making my cup of tea, so they are in the blend. Okay, so here's how it looks all spread out. To me, it really does look more like a black tea. It's really like deeply oxidized and in smaller like pieces than what I think of as an oolong, but it's a Formosa oolong. It's just like a deeper oxidized one, but let's see. So there's this chunk here that must be dried peach. It's a big chunk of dried peach. Persian pistachio we saw in there, but not here. White chocolate are these really like aesthetic, like squares of white chocolate. I like that. Rose petals, I see some of those. Here's one. Love that in a tea, especially with like the combination of like peach and rose and like lime and rose. I feel like August Uncommon does some really unique things, and their branding as a whole is like really unique and cool. So we'll definitely dive into that. Let's go to their website. All right, August Uncommon Tea. Ooh, you know what? They have a subscription box. That is really cool. Okay, that's really exciting. I didn't know that they had that. I feel like a lot of teas have that now, like a lot of tea brands. They have like their own subscription boxes. You know when you like go on a tea brand's website and you're like, ooh, okay, I want to try this and this and this and this. And then like you go to make an order and it turns out to be like $1 million and you're like, okay, I have to be more selective. So you end up like just buying a couple things. Like now that there aren't a whole lot of like freestanding like brick and mortar tea shops where you can like smell things and stuff, I feel like the subscription boxes are such a great way to kind of get a taste of each thing. Like it'll be like something new each time. So instead of like buying full sizes of things and spending all your money on something you don't even know you'll like, you can have that like subscription box where like periodically you have something like to look forward to. You're having tea sent right to you and it's like a surprise and kind of like opening a present. So I love that they have that. That's really cool. So they have like sort of a dark vibe to them. Like they have like an alternative sort of feel to their brand. And I really like that. Like it's really different and they have recipes and things. So I think the best place to start, I'm just gonna go to the page for dark iris and see what it says, I guess. Yeah, I like their tins. I've never bought like a whole thing of their tea. I've only ever tried them in my Sips by box. Oh, but you can buy like this size on their website. So that's cool too. They definitely give you a lot of options how to purchase their teas and like to give you the chance to really try a lot of things, especially because they have these unique, intriguing names and combinations of flavors. You just like can't help it but want to try everything. So their description here says, the iris has been the favorite flower of royalty and artists for centuries. The accord of lime blossom and creamy vanilla in this tea evokes the scent of iris. At first, the bright acidity of peach and lime dominate. The next sip deepens with the velvetiness of roasted oolong with peach and rose notes. Adding milk introduces pistachio and white chocolate flavors. Chilling this tea deepens its earthiness to bring out roasted peach and rose notes, an experience as mysterious and elegant as the intoxicating spring flower. That's really cool because I noticed that when I worked at David's Tea, how like when you make a tea iced versus hot, it's crazy like the difference. Like sometimes you can feel like you're buying one tea, but you are getting two because iced it'll taste completely different than it does hot. So it was really cool how they said like add milk and it'll bring out pistachio, make it iced and it'll bring out the earthiness. Like that is really, really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the infuser so we don't oversteep it, because you can oversteep oolong and we don't want that, especially for a first impression. But I do want to do like a bit more digging before I try it. But yeah, they have like, I could make a really long list of everything I want to try from them. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize that they're from Chicago. I'm from Chicago as well, but this is Aaron and Gina. I haven't read their about page in like a year, so I feel like it might be a little different. But they're from Wicker Park in Chicago. And it looks like they were bartenders when they met, and they sort of like translated that to tea. So it said, we were the first coffee nerds amongst our friends. We were throwing regular themed dinner and cocktail parties, and we were experimenting with molecular gastronomy at home. We had lived and traveled in great culinary cities like Chicago, New York, Paris, London, and Tokyo, and eaten our way through every avenue and passage. So basically what they're trying to say is they're living my dream. And it looks like they went to Japan, and that's really where they like got into like the traditional tea leaves. And it says, while we appreciated traditional teas, it was a French tea whose creative flavors, luxurious packaging, and expert service inspired us to take an entirely different approach to tea, one beyond health and beyond tradition. We were looking to make tea an experience. Yeah, I'd say like that's so cool. Like there's a much longer, more detailed story. So if you are interested, I'd say go read it because it looks really interesting. But it's really cool that like they were sort of like foodies and coffee people and like fell in love with tea and wanted to do something totally different than what we normally see, because we do see a lot of overlap. A lot of brands have the same kinds of blends and a lot of traditional blends. A lot of companies will just do sort of their take on something traditional. But I think it's really cool that they were like, we're coming at this from a different approach. And it's a really cool vibe as well. So I enjoy this brand, and I kind of forgot about them. So I'm glad to be back, like trying more. But I guess there's nothing left to do but to try the tea. So let's take our first sip. Wow, okay, so I feel like in the smell, it was all about the lime. But in this, the peach and the vanilla, like that creamy, what is it? I think it's just flavoring, but like how they said it tastes like creme fraiche. I would say so. And like that floral, like rosy vibe. The taste and the smell are incredibly different. And my water wasn't super hot, so this isn't like hot tea. So I really feel like I'm getting a good grasp on the flavor. And like you taste the lime, but it more just supports like the peach and the floral. And also it doesn't taste like a black tea. Like it doesn't taste like a really dark oxidized black tea. It has like the almost like the creamy butteriness of an oolong. So like, boy, was that the way to go to make this an oolong. Everything about this is perfect, I gotta say. Even the pistachio, because I forgot for a second about the pistachio, and I'm like, do I taste? Yeah, I taste the pistachio. Wow, this is really great. I feel like that like vanilla creaminess really just like ties it together. And it's not too fruity or too floral. With that vanilla and with like the creme fraiche vibe that they talked about and like that white chocolate, it's really like a creamy floral, like kind of dreamy cup of tea. So the last one I tried from August Uncommon was their Psycho Candy. It's like a pumpkin rooibos blend. And that one I remember being like really sweet and kind of like over the top in sweetness and in flavor. This one is really masterful. Like this is really masterfully blended. Like I'm really, really impressed. And I really love it. I really want to try more of their blends because this is wonderful. Like where it says like taste like peach, creme fraiche, iris, and lime blossom. It totally does. That's the vibe. Like it tastes like a really great dessert. Like it tastes like you're eating like a macaron or something. Like something really like sophisticated and just really well blended. And that lime is so delicate compared to the smell. It's so wonderful, oh my gosh. I think this has gotta be one of my new favorite teas. It's really, really good. I could definitely see myself buying this again. I can see myself doing this as like an afternoon tea. In the morning I like something pretty basic, like a green tea with ginger or genmaicha, something like that, or straight oolong. But as I like get into the day, I do sort of look for more like flavors, and sometimes it's a chai, sometimes it's, you know, spiced flavors, sometimes it is like nutty flavors, but I could definitely see myself like reaching for this during the afternoon when I need sort of my tea pick-me-up. It's probably too late to like ask for something for Christmas, but such a cool Christmas gift, if I knew about it, would have been to ask for a subscription to the August Uncommon subscription box. That would have been cool, but I could sign up at any time of the year. So if I am in the position to do that, I think I will, because they have like these wild blends that I just can't even imagine what they taste like. As I'm scrolling through their new releases, I got really excited because they have their own tea tasting journal. And that is so cool. Like someday when I have like my business, that is something I'd really like to do. Like to have a guided journal about like tea tasting. So that is so cool. But they have like, they just have really unique stuff. They have a, the Black Lodge. It's sweet black tea with smoky banana and truffle notes. They have one that is vibrant black tea with bergamot, plum, and clove. They have one with chili and chocolate. A lot of really cool, unique stuff. I'm like so tempted by that subscription box, but we'll see what I end up doing because I already get Sips by. I really don't need that, but so tempting. But I really enjoyed this tea. I really enjoy taking a look at this brand. They are so cool. And I hope that you and your families are all staying safe and healthy. I hope you're having a beautiful holiday season and a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.